What's going on, everyone? John Matrix here. Hope you're all having yourselves a wonderful day wherever you're at and whenever you are watching this. We're going to be jumping back into some more SCP goodness now that I am able to get back into it. The power's back on, hurricane's gone, all that stuff's done. We're through the woods, we're back up and running. Thank God. So yeah, thank you guys very much for all the words of concern, and made it through the Hurricane Milton down here in Florida just fine. My area is fine. For all those who are still going through it, you know, best wishes to you. I hope you're all safe and well, and I hope you guys get the power back up and can get back to you know, life as normal as soon as possible. So but yeah, thank you guys very much for all the words of concern and best wishes. But with all that said, we're going to be checking out SCP-097 Old Fairgrounds. Old Fairgrounds by the Vulcan. This is a Halloween SCP. We're in spooky times, so it is the time to get into such things. So that's what we're going to get in here today. Links, as always, will be down below in the description to the original video without my commentary and reaction, and to the Vulcan's channel. Please do me a favor. If you enjoy this video as we go through it, go over there and give it a like. And if you enjoy the Vulcan's content and are not already subscribed to the man, please do me a favor hitting that sub button. Definitely deserves it. Puts a lot of time and effort into his videos. Please do me the favor, give the man some support. If you would like to join us when we do these reactions live, would love to have you guys come in here and join our discussions, add your 2 cents to the conversation. There is a join button underneath the video, as well as a link in the description to the YouTube membership benefits and tiers. If you've been around the channel for a while and decide you want to take your support to the next level, check those out and see if any of that would have any interest for you. Well, all that said and done, let's get into the video. This is a very Stranger Things kind of feel to the opening here. That music.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to...
That's not what the name tag said. Okay. It's reversed. I see it. I caught it there. Rollum Miller. Okay. I have a feeling that has something to do with this SCP. Anyway.
To be looking at today is SCP-097.
Is this the Great Pumpkin? I think there was an SCP video that I did from the Exploring series that kind of like slightly touched in on what this was, and I thought that in that video as well, gonna be something about the Great Pumpkin, and it turned out to be not good at all. So let's see what this is about.
Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-097 is contained within the limits of the property where it was initially discovered, Zone SCP-97. The property is surrounded by an 8-meter tall concrete block fence fitted with barbed wire and security camera systems. Satellite images of Zone SCP-97 are to be doctored, removing all traces of the area. Any and all new plant growth outside the containment area suspected to originate from within the SCP is to be sterilized through application of boiling salt water and/or incinerated. Absolutely all abnormal behavior is to be reported to Dr. Bridge within 10 minutes of the occurrence. If any personnel or their families experience hallucinations or thematically related dreams outside of containment, they are to contact Dr. Bridge to schedule treatment. Localities surrounding SCP-97, specifically, are to be monitored from the 1st of April until the 1st of November every year for affected
Interesting that it's from April through November.
Civilians. Medical establishments dealing with sleep abnormalities are to be monitored for signs of SCP-97's influence. Civilians below the age of 16 encountered alone within 1 square kilometer of Zone SCP-97 are to be taken into Foundation custody and are to be treated with a Class B amnestic and returned home. Or
So interesting that it seems to deal mostly, or at least I guess mostly affect, you know, kids, teenagers, etc. But I wonder what it is specifically from the time of like April through November. If it's just a situation where it's like, you know, springtime through summertime, and it has something to do with, you know, plants. So obviously those would be the times where they grow, and then fall through winter, it's not able to really have an effect. And then wonder what it could be that's affecting younger people, you know, if it's associated with Halloween, you know, I don't know. Anyway, let's just continue.
Or the nearest police station. Personnel tasked with the return of civilians are to avoid public exposure. Each agent is to be assigned a cover story to follow if they do encounter civilians en route to their destinations. See Level 3 staff for details. The morning after the first frost of the year, a team of 25 agents armed with agricultural tools are to enter SCP-97 and clear away the outer plant matter. This process is not to continue past dusk.
So obviously, yeah, you know, the first frost of the year, it starts killing off the plant matter. They go out there and clear it out. However, it seems that at night is when this, whatever this SCP is, will become active.
Description: SCP-97 is a 10-acre area of land in the Midwestern United States. It is the abandoned remains of the County Fair, 1969, an area of approximately 2.3 kilometers squared. The structures within the SCP area exist in a state of moderate disrepair, consistent with the expected age and environment. At the center of SCP-97 lie the remains of a 1956 GMC pickup truck, the majority of which is crushed beneath a colossal pumpkin of unknown subtype, henceforth SCP-9701.
Yeah, I do remember this being talked about in one of the Exploring Series videos, but didn't go into depth about what it exactly was, and I don't remember what it does to people. I think it does something where it like draws them to it and like eats them, kills them, or something like that. I don't know, like some kind of carnivorous pumpkin of some sort, but I could be misremembering. So anyway, let's continue.
SCP-9701 stands
But the colossal pumpkin thing is what made me think like, oh, okay, this is an SCP that's based kind of off the, you know, Charlie Brown Great Pumpkin kind of legend thing. But, you know, the Great Pumpkin's supposed to be something that's like beneficial, and this is something that is not, from what I remember.
approximately 7.4 meters tall and 8.1 meters in diameter at its widest.
24 feet tall and 26 feet
at approximately
wide.
15,000 kilograms.
Good lord.
This pumpkin remains roughly spherical in shape, instead of spreading out under its own weight, as would be expected of a plant of its size. The remaining portion of SCP-97 is overgrown, with several dozen varieties of pumpkins with over 70 subspecies yet identified, and many previously unknown to agriculture.
Subspecies of pumpkin. I wonder what that, like... I'm just trying to imagine, like, are they different looking pumpkins? You know, they kind of look like pumpkins, but they're not pumpkins. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Trying to imagine what that looks like.
Pumpkins have been shown capable of growing to enormous sizes, the average estimated weight being around 250 kilograms. These pumpkins,
Good lord,
along with the other assorted crops, grow with, on, and around the remains of the 1969 fairgrounds, creating a maze-like arrangement of plant life. The average height of the walls within SCP-97 is 1.6 meters, though this may vary from year to year.
So this pumpkin seems to have this... It seems like there was a fair that happened during the 60s. There was probably some kind of, you know, pumpkin growing contest of some sort. Someone brought their massive pumpkin there to, you know, enter in, and it seems like something must have happened at this fair. Maybe everyone died, and then this pumpkin took over these grounds that have been abandoned since. And yeah, some kind of anomaly happened with this pumpkin. That's just what I'm imagining here.
Between April and November each year, the area within SCP-97 has produced a number of anomalous phenomena ranging from benign to implicitly aggressive.
Interesting.
To date, 17 agents have been severely maimed within SCP-97, 8 having died.
You know, like the old movie and what eventually, you know, became a cartoon for a while, the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes back in the day. I'm getting, like, the attack of the killer pumpkins.
See event log SCP-97 for a brief list of recorded phenomena. Addendum. Historical note. Prior to the construction of SCP-97's containment wall, instances of what are now known as SCP-21711 were occasionally observed to form fragmented walls, and at one point, a near-complete ring of 2171 around SCP-97's area of effect. This behavior ceased following the containment wall's completion. The purpose and implications behind this interaction are, as of yet, unknown.
Interesting. So it was like growing its own wall, and then once the SCP Foundation created a wall around it, it stopped doing that and just used that wall as a barrier. So it's almost kind of like it was marking or laying out its own territory of what it wanted. Fascinating.
Effects of SCP-97 on children. In addition to its immediate effects, outlined in event log SCP-97, SCP-9701 appears to produce an undetectable signal towards children in an undetermined range. For clarity, children will refer to individuals up to the age of 10. Beginning in early April, civilian children with SCP-97's undefined range may be overcome with somnambulism on clear nights. Affected children will move around
Don't know what that is. I'll look that up later.
their homes, stopping to face closed doorways for several seconds before moving to the next nearest doorway, eventually returning to bed.
I assume that's what that means.
At first, this behavior will occur only once a week, beginning with only the doors on a single floor. This sleepwalking will become more frequent, by mid-August happening every night. If forcibly
Is this like a Pied Piper thing where when they sleep, there's some kind of signal that's going out that's getting the kids to like come to the pumpkin? You know, it's kids though, you know, obviously instead of rats or whatever.
awoken at any time during these episodes, they will scream for several seconds before succumbing to a degree of confusion. After an affected child is awoken in this manner, the effect will cease and the child will never show any further signs of SCP-97's influence.
Yikes.
Over the course of 2 to 3 months, these episodes will become more thorough. Affected individuals seeking out each doorway inside their home, as well as those on their household's property, such as garages, car doors, and fence gates. Eventually, they will begin visiting the front doors of neighbors. Beginning in September,
Can you imagine that as a parent? Like waking up in the middle of the night to go do something or whatever, and your kid's just sitting there staring at a doorway, and then all of a sudden like screams, you know, like I would assume they probably aren't like you call to them or whatever, try to get their attention. They might not be responsive at all, you know, and they're just sitting there staring at a doorway, and then they might just scream and then they'll snap out of it. Like, that would be terrifying. It would make me think my house was haunted or something. My kid was possessed.
affected children who have remained undisturbed during these episodes will begin to remain outside at sunrise, laying on grass near their homestead and returning to full REM sleep. Affected children may recall dreams centering around autumn activities. Between September 1st and November 1st, if the affected children have not been awoken during the preceding sleepwalking episodes, they will cease the previously established activity during the sleepwalk and instead begin to walk directly towards SCP-97's location. They will travel over fields and down secondary roads, steadily moving towards SCP-97. Local geography consists of mostly undeveloped, Foundation-owned property, facilitating uninterrupted travel. Upon arrival at SCP-97, an affected child will sit down before SCP-9701 and begin singing unidentifiable gibberish as music begins to play.
So, the kids will get there, they'll sit down in front of this pumpkin and start singing gibberish, and then music will just randomly out of nowhere start playing.
While a number of instruments have been recorded, simple drums and pipes are most consistently encountered. After several minutes, childlike entities will crawl out from tangled flora or break out of larger pumpkins within SCP-97. The children will be wearing whatever they were last seen with, most often pajamas or similar clothing. Many of these entities match those children known to be lost to SCP-9701. The entities will surround the affected civilian child, dancing and singing in a circle as SCP-9701 begins to emit dim light. The affected child will awaken, normally expressing a great deal of terror. The instant any vocalization is produced, the entities will swarm and kill the child.
Yikers. So, it seems like this entity, whatever it is, lures kids to this pumpkin patch, to this pumpkin. It sits there and starts singing, and other versions of kids that it has consumed, killed, whatever, come out of other pumpkins, and they form a childlike visage, of kids that have been consumed, that are like made out of vines and stuff, right? Like entities crawl from the tangled flora. Okay. So it doesn't say they're like just made out of vines. It just says childlike entities crawl out of tangled flora. I mean, I imagine in my mind it's just made out of like, plant and pumpkin matter, right? But it does say that they are still wearing clothing similar to, so I mean, it might just be the actual kids. So I wonder if it's also a situation where each one of the smaller pumpkins that gets made is a child that's been consumed, or a person or whatever that's been consumed, and then they become part of this pumpkin network. But like, why would it then attack the kids, right? I wonder if it's a situation where, like, for whatever reason, this entity, just wants to befriend kids. Maybe there was some kind of, I don't know. Like, I'm wondering, was some kind of like ritual done to the first pumpkin that somehow some kind of child's soul got locked in the pumpkin or whatever, and so it just like wants to play with kids, and so it like lures kids, but then once the kids get freaked out, it like gets offended or something and kills them, is it something like that? I don't know. But I would assume that each of the smaller pumpkins that gets, added to this is another child that's been consumed by it. But like, this would be an interesting story for a horror movie. This would be an interesting story for a horror movie so far.
Methods used are different in each instance, but usually involve dismemberment or strangulation. At this point, any and all efforts to interrupt the entities will fail, whether through breakdown of equipment, sudden intangibility of subjects, or express violence on the part of SCP-97. After the death of the affected child, SCP-9701 will split open, and the entities will hurl the remains into it before climbing in themselves. SCP-9701 will then close, and the music will stop.
Can you imagine how terrifying that must that sight would be? Like, if you're an SCP member, a Foundation member, and you see a kid wandering this like pumpkin patch, and all these other little pumpkin kids crawl out and start dancing around and then murder this kid and then throw its body into this giant pumpkin, and then they all just kind of crawl back in their own little pumpkins, like, that would be terrifying. That would be terrifying.
The containment wall was erected, at least children between the ages of 3 and 10 are known to have been lost to SCP.
And it's like, I mean, I get from a certain perspective, you'd want to study this thing just to learn as much as you can about it. But I feel like at a certain point, there are some SCPs, right, that are just like, they just don't have a purpose beyond what it is that they're doing and don't need to be around. And I feel like this SCP would be one of them, right? Like, it's literally trying to attract and murder and consume children. What benefit does that have of just containing it? Like, I don't know. What reason would you have to not destroy it, right? Like, again, like I said, there is, study it for as much as you can, but there would only be so much you can learn from something like this. And then it's like, why else would you keep it around? I don't know. I guess, though, if they could contain it enough so that it doesn't affect people in any way, then so be it, but still.
SCP-97. See event log SCP-97 for current examples of SCP-97's behavior. Event log SCP-97. This is a general incident log for SCP-97 for the cycle between the 1st of September and the 1st of November. This is an abridged version. Please requisition full individual reports from Dr. Bridge.
So basically, this is what happens at the start of fall, during spoopy season now.
During this time, 4 civilian children were captured and returned to their families. September 3rd, 9:39 a.m. Cameras 3B, 4A, 4C, and 5B view child, approximately 4 years of age, walk between tangles of plant matter towards SCP-97-1 over an 8-minute period. Child appeared to be dragging a stuffed animal. Notes: child appeared on footage during review period. No figure was viewed at the time of recording. September 5th, 5:33 p.m. Human scream heard from within SCP-97, heard throughout the site. On-site personnel described it as possessing a small child's voice, sustained for approximately 3 minutes before stopping abruptly. Notes: staff reported feeling as if they were being watched during the event. September 8th, no time noted. Several bedsheet ghosts are seen through various security feeds throughout the day. Would only appear for approximately 1 to 3 seconds before vanishing again. Staff did not report seeing any anomalous entities firsthand. Notes: patrols doubled for the remaining time in the SCP cycle. September 13th, 10:19 p.m. Unidentifiable singing is heard throughout the site, persisting for 3 hours before becoming silent. Recordings reveal song-like gibberish with up to 30 individual children's voices singing at any time. Notes: recordings archived for future study. September 19th, 2:27 p.m. Agent McRoy cuts a pumpkin's vine with a machete. Severed vine proceeds to bleed approximately 50 liters of human blood before shriveling. Notes: blood type AB-, no DNA.
So it has human blood, it has the blood type, but they couldn't match it to any DNA of anyone that they have on any kind of record anywhere. So potentially, because this thing happened, initially in the 60s, it sounds like this could just be someone that was consumed way back in the day before any kind of medical records like that were kept.
DNA match. September 24th, no time noted. Overnight, 2 separate pumpkin patches grew into the rough approximations of humanoid figures lying on the ground. Notes: destroyed without incident. September 25th, 5:17 a.m. Agent Long found decapitated, neck against a pumpkin. Notes: disappeared en route to a bathroom break.
Yikes. This is what I mean. Like, it feels like it's a situation where you're not really going to learn. I mean, who knows? Maybe you can. Maybe you can't. I don't know. For me, from my perspective, I feel like what all could you really else learn from this SCP? Like, you've discovered, I guess, there are other SCPs that, may be able to somehow through unknown methods coerce people into doing things. And I guess if you could determine how this SCP is transmitting its signals and how it affects the human brain, specifically kids, maybe you could find ways to prevent it and thus prevent, I guess, other SCPs that could do similar things. You could fortify people against things or create some kind of inoculation to at least get people to resist this kind of stuff, so that other potentially more dangerous SCPs out there that could have similar effects, But beyond that, like, I don't see what else you could really learn about this. You know what I mean? But this is just me. I could just be being short-sighted. But I feel like this is kind of the SCP that's like the amount of things you could learn from it are limited. And so just keeping it around out in open field where people could still potentially get to it, even if it is walled off. People, it sounds like people are still, you know, able to get to it in certain ways and are still being killed. So it's just like nuke the site from orbit, you know, burn it down.
September 27th, 2:50 a.m. All light bulbs on site burn out within a 2-minute period. Note: critical
Yikes.
areas repaired before nightfall.
And I wonder what it is specifically about nighttime that makes these things more active. Maybe it's just because kids are sleeping. If it's a situation where, like, when people go to sleep, it's able to, like, tap into their unconscious mind and get them to do things. And so it's trying to, you know, break the lights and security measures that the SCP Foundation has set up so that it can attract more people out there and get a hold of them.
September 30th, 12:16 p.m. Sudden shift noted in the location of several dozen gourd plants. Notes: time and nature of actual event unknown. October 1st, 2:29 p.m. Agent Cole accidentally damages and breaks Pumpkin during weekly examination of SCP-097. Pumpkin splits open, revealing a complete human child's skeleton in the fetal position within.
Yikes.
Notes: female, approximately 5 years old. No DNA match. October 2nd, no time noted. 29 freshly decapitated crows found outside SCP-97's containment wall. Notes: none. October 6th, 6th.
Decapitated crows. I wonder if, like, what, if any, significance is it that it's also, like, is it just a creature that, like, these crows just happened to get into its threat range and it didn't like them, so it killed them? Are the crows, like, I don't know if crows eat pumpkins. I'm assuming they might, right? They might see it as some kind of fruit or something to eat, or they might try to dig into the pumpkins to get, you know, any kind of bugs that could live in them out there or whatever. So it could see the crows as some kind of, like, threat that it would want to kill. But otherwise, I'm wondering, like, what else it could be. It's interesting that everything is decapitation, though. What is it about decapitating people?
37.
And also, like, so any of the kids that get killed are strangled, right? That seems to be what it says, is strangled in some kind of way. But, like, their body, like, they're not decapitated, right? Their body and head's kept intact. I don't think it said they were decapitated. It said it was just saying that they were, like, strangled and then their bodies were thrown into the pumpkin. So I wonder if it's something about, you know, keeping the head and brain, you know, attached to the body. If it's able to then, like, absorb them, part of their consciousness becomes part of this, like, pumpkin plant network or something like that. You know, I don't know.
a.m. Decapitated crows found outside SCP-97's containment wall. Notes: none. October 6th, 6:37 a.m. Matured pumpkin plant found to have replaced a potted plant growing inside Dr. Bridges' office. Notes: indoor plants banned from the site. Pumpkin incinerated immediately. October 7th, 4:50 p.m. Agent Matthews falls unconscious during patrol and cannot be awoken until removed from property. Notes: agent reported dreaming of autumn colors and the smell of leaves. Full recovery. Reassigned to desk work.
So it is still
examination.
affecting adults.
October 11th, 7:38 a.m. Research Assistant Sturm reports overwhelming taste and scent of pumpkin permeating her senses. No other personnel report anomaly. Notes: transferred off-site, examination pending. October 13th, no time noted. Sounds of steady drums play throughout the day from 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. Notes: source of sound unknown. Recordings archived for future study.
I wonder what it's about
October
drums.
17th, 3:19 a.m. Male child, approximately 6 years of age, and clad in pajamas seen climbing through corn stalks on the eastern end of SCP-97, moving towards SCP-9701. Notes: lost to SCP-9701. How the child was able to escape notice by personnel until after he was lost to the SCP is unknown.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're keeping this thing around and kids are still able somehow to break through your security measures and are still getting killed by this pumpkin entity thing. So it's like, I don't know. Find a better way to containment or kill it. That's just my opinion.
October 20th, 1:07 p.m. All personnel within 3.6 kilometers of SCP-9701 report hallucinations of orange haze and children's
So,
laughter.
I mean, it's getting stronger as we're getting closer to Halloween.
Personnel evacuated to a distance outside the area of effect. Personnel screened for mental interference. October 23rd, 12:01 a.m. All power and backup power to the area failed. Upon recovery, pumpkins within SCP-97 were found to have changed
That
into
would be
carved
terrifying.
lanterns. Notes: it is unknown how SCP-97 generated lit candles. Team 97 Alpha and Beta tasked to destroy
Yep.
lanterns after sunrise.
Yep.
October 23rd, 8:13 a.m. Team 97 Alpha reports seeing and hearing children playing among the flora within SCP-97. Recordings lack the entities expected from the reports. Notes: children noted to be clad in pajamas. Teams pulled from SCP, screened for mental interference. October 25th, 11:49 a.m. Z Maze and errata kernels fall from the sky around SCP-97, does not fall within the containment walls. Notes: area cleansed with
Yep,
flame units.
that's what you do
and
right there.
replanted with
Bring
non-native
out the
grasses.
flamethrowers.
Pavement outside of area pending. 26th.
I don't know what that was about, but I don't know what I clicked that open that screen, but I apologize. But yeah, bring out the purgators is what I was gonna say. You know, bring them out.
9:13 p.m. Research Assistant O'Toole overcome with nausea and vomits pumpkin seeds. O'Toole did not eat pumpkin seeds previous to vomiting. Notes:
What? Research assistant O'Toole overcome with nausea and vomits pumpkin seeds. I would assume she was one of the ones that was probably affected by that like haze hallucination thing. Did not eat pumpkin seeds previous to vomiting. Research assistant O'Toole transferred to site for examination. Seeds incinerated with prejudice. Yeah, so this is what I'm saying, man. I feel like this is just one of these SCPs where you need to cut your losses and just get rid of it.
Research Assistant O'Toole
Nothing
transferred
good's
to
gonna
site
come from it.
for examination. Seeds incinerated
I'm with the GOC on this one. Terminate with extreme prejudice.
with prejudice. October 27th, 10:03 a.m. Research Assistant O'Toole reported to have died overnight.
Yikes.
Autopsy reveals thoracic cavity was filled with pumpkin seeds.
Jeez.
Notes: body incinerated at site. All personnel scheduled for full physical examination. October 28th, no time noted. Unintelligible whispering gibberish heard by fertile female personnel throughout the area when in view of SCP-97.
Okay. That's getting real creepy. Unintelligible whispering gibberish heard by fertile female personnel throughout the area. What?
Phenomenon continues throughout the day, continuing for the duration of SCP-97's cycle, i.e. until November 1st. Notes: associated personnel removed from duty and scheduled for examination. October 28th, 5:45 p.m. Headlights of vehicle underneath SCP-9701 light and stay lit until daybreak. Notes: none. October 29th, no time noted. Fruit trees within SCP-97 blossom over the course of 5 hours, beginning at roughly 7 a.m. Flowers wither and fall soon after. Notes: none. October 29th, 8:07 a.m. Pumpkins near south entrance to SCP-97 began spontaneously bleeding from the stem. Each continued bleeding for 3 hours. Notes: blood type AB-. No DNA match.
It's the same blood from the other pumpkin that had been like cut and bled. I think maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong about this as far as like blood types go, but like I think it's like it's either O positive or O negative. I think it's O negative is like the universal donor, and that's like the most sought after type of blood donors, you know, that they want for stocking blood. But I think AB negative is like the next one underneath that. So I don't know. I wonder if the AB negative has any kind of significance in this at all, or if it's just, you know, not just what the blood type they found, and still no DNA match. And what is going on with the picture of this person now showing up?
October 31st, 3:10 a.m. Several dozen unidentified spheres of red light viewed drifting above SCP-97 and surrounding area. When light was shone directly on the spheres, a piercing shriek was heard.
Yikes.
Notes: personnel called into the main building until spheres dissipated at dawn. October 31st, 12 p.m. Sounds of steady drums are recorded from within SCP-97. Drums persist for the following 12 hours. Notes: no source identified. Recordings archived for future study. October 31st, 2:19 p.m. All strawberry plants within SCP-97 wither in unison. Notes: none. October 31st, 5:43 p.m. Between 25 and 30 animate human skeletons of varying size are recorded breaking out of larger pumpkins within SCP-97. Skeletons traverse through SCP-97's flora to the northeast peach tree and hang themselves from its branches using lengths of grapevine, electrical cable, and decaying rope. Skeletons ceased anomalous behavior after pantomiming death by hanging. Death throes continued for approximately 23 minutes. Notes: skeletons recovered after first frost. All appeared under 12 years of age. No DNA matches. Skeletons incinerated after examination.
Yikers, brother.
Okay. It's just not Halloween unless a child skeleton hangs itself, huh?
Or gets eaten by a pumpkin, you know?
Thank you for listening, if indeed you still are, and you were all dismissed. Goodbye.
Goodbye. All right, well, I mean, there you have it. That was SCP-097 Old Fairgrounds Euclid Halloween SCP by the Vulcan. Links to the original video in his channel will be down below in the description as always. Please do me a favor, if you enjoyed this video as we went along through it, go over there and give this video a like. And if you enjoy the Vulcan's content and are not already subscribed to the man, do me the favor and show him some love. Go over and hit that sub button on his channel. Makes a lot of wonderful content, and he definitely deserves the support. I mean, like I said through the video, I pretty much gave most of my thoughts through it. I'm trying to think if I have any kind of additional questions or thought about it, but it's like, I just really wonder what the origin of it is, right? Like, how did this pumpkin become anomalous, right? Was it just anomalous to begin with, or because it sounds like, you know, during the 60s there was some at the beginning of the story they said, you know, there was some kind of like fairgrounds or whatever that had been abandoned. There was a truck or whatever that's buried, or that has been, you know, I guess buried would be the proper terminology, underneath this massive pumpkin. So I wonder, like, hair on my tongue there. So I wonder, like, did a person who was growing this pumpkin, who was trying, like, because I know there's, like, you know, contests and that happen sometimes, these fairgrounds in these small towns, for, you know, who can grow the largest pumpkin or the largest fruit or watermelon or this, that, and the other thing. So it could have been like some kind of contest like that. Did someone like sell their soul or do some kind of ritual to like implant some kind of creature or demon in this pumpkin or something like that to get it its giant size? But then, like, when the fairground happened at Halloween, it like ate everyone there, you know? And it seems to be the case, I think anyway, it seems to me that anyone who's been eaten gets turned into some kind of pumpkin creature or something. I don't know. I guess to me that is like what interests me the most is like, what is the origin of this? And like I said, as far as like why they're just containing it, like I get that their philosophy of just containing and not destroying, because you can still learn things and utilize things and etc, etc, but there are definitely some SCPs that like they don't have really any kind of benefit at all, and instead of just using the resources to contain them, they should just be destroyed, in my opinion. I mean, but that's just me, and I feel like this would be one of them, because it's clear that people, but mostly kids in general, are still finding their ways through their security protocols and protections and are being killed and eaten by this thing. And, I mean, what benefit is there to keeping it around, right? Again, like I said, perhaps there is some kind of way where they could determine and learn the various signals or brainwave, things that it's giving off that are attracting people. They could learn what it is and how to defend against it, and thus other SCPs that could potentially do something similar that are of a greater threat, they could figure out some kind of defense against it. Other than that, I don't really see what else could be gained by just containing it, because people keep dying to it. Even other staff members, not D-class, like just actual staff members, or the woman O'Toole who was vomiting pumpkin seeds and then essentially, I would assume, drowned in pumpkin seeds. It sounded like her stomach and potentially her lungs may have become filled with pumpkin seeds, and she died from that. Another one of them went on a pee break and was decapitated, which again, like, I wonder what the decapitation means, if anything. I also wonder if the blood type has any kind of meaning. The AB negative, it seems like from what we saw in the rest of the story, it has no real kind of impact or meaning towards anything else. And there's no DNA match, so I don't know, but it still seems to be human blood. So yeah, I don't know. A lot of mysteries and a lot of other little questions that I would want to learn more about this SCP. But for the most part, I would be on the GOC side with this one and just be like, hey, get rid of it, Unless you can find some other better way to contain it, taking it out of the field, moving it somewhere else, and putting it in a better facility so you can study it, to where people can't get in and can't destroy it. Although, I mean, you have Cthulhu and a highly protected facility, and people are still breaking in to do weird stuff there. So who knows? Who knows if it's one of those SCPs where you really can't necessarily properly contain it. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, that was SCP-097 Old Fairgrounds Euclid Halloween SCP. Good SCP to go over for the spooky times of the month. I'm going to try to find some more, spooky Halloween SCPs to go through this month. If you guys know any or have any requests for them that you would like me to check out, for the spooky season, feel free to let me know down in the comments. I know ABCs of Death, some people have been posting some of the various videos on that. We already went over A is for Annihilation and D is for Dermatology, so you can check those out on the channel if you're interested. But if there's any other ones that you would be interested in having me check out for Halloween season, any other spooky SCPs, just let me know down in the comments. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you'd like to join us when we do these reactions live, there is a join button underneath the video, as well as a link in the description to the YouTube membership tiers and benefits that I offer. If you've been around the channel for a while and decide you want to take your support to the next level, check those out and see if anyone have any interest for it. You can get early access to videos, priority, and any kind of reaction requests you might have, your name added to the video. There's a members Discord channel you can get access to, all kinds of stuff like that. There's more stuff that I want to start adding to some of these benefits as well. I've been thinking about, you know, doing kind of a community movie night if people would be interested in that. I want to get some more, you know, community game night events going on. I just don't know what all games a lot of people would be interested in that we can get together and have fun playing as a group. You know, stuff like that. So if you have any other ideas for that as well, let me know down in the comments. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you're having yourselves a wonderful day, and appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, consider leaving a like and a sub, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a wonderful day, everybody.